What's up, fight fans? Welcome along to Cork for Premier Fighting Championship 7. Six. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's action brings us some of the best mixed martial arts action that Cork has to offer. The officials are ready cage side. The fighters are ready backstage. Cork, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, this first bout of the evening takes place over 3 rounds in the Premier Welterweight division. This bout is sponsored by the Emergency Medical Training Services. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he represents MMA Cork and tonight makes his mixed martial arts debut. Introducing Randall! And standing across the cage is opponent. He represents Samson martial arts and also makes his mixed martial arts debut. Give it up for Oscar Lee! Your referee when the action begins, Mr. O'Donnell. Here we go, 3 rounds of welterweight action and they're off to a furious start.
Throwing heavy.
Randall straight out with that push kick to the body and
yeah.
Lee scrambles well, swings with a big overhand right.
Ooh. It's always the case with the first fight of the night. 2 boys want to come on, put on a show straight away.
Randall, of course, 23 years old. He's got quite a bit of amateur boxing experience, competed in amateur boxing as recently as 2021. He's been training in boxing since he was 12, so no stranger to throwing gloves under the lights.
And shoots the first takedown.
Yeah, he's got Lee pressed up against the fence here, and using the head position well. Lee did well to get off the fence.
2 outside kicks quickly by Lee. Randall very much stalking, kind of controlling the center of the cage.
Yeah, both guys not shy here, letting the hands fly. It's been a nice pace to this opener.
For sure. Seems to be a bit of swelling on Oscar's left cheek already. Bit of blood, actually.
Yeah, both guys kind of wearing a little bit of the damage already, and it's been an entertaining opening. Lee Randall, of course, training in MMA Cork. He'll be no stranger to this grappling against the fence. It's an area in which most of the fighters from that gym seem to excel.
For sure, they're known for their heavy pressure grappling style. You see it across most of their fighters.
Lee turns well off the fence. And a big kick up high by Randall. Randall just trying to paw out with that jab and control the distance, but Oscar Lee doing well to move his head a little off the center line all the time. One big thing about this cage is you can actually move back in a straight line as opposed to some of the smaller cages you'll usually compete in mixed martial arts at an amateur level. Yeah. You take 2 steps back and you're against the fence. With this one, you can back up considerably before you actually have to pivot off and find an angle. Yeah. See Randall using the head very well, just getting in underneath the jaw. And Oscar Lee, again, just doing very, very well. Well, he almost turned off that fence again using that underhook, but now he's allowed Lee Randall to get down that little bit lower and connect the hands as he attempts to single, breaks that grip.
And circles away.
Yeah.
Great job.
Really good defensive work on all 3 occasions that Oscar Lee has had to do it in this first round against the fence. Big straight right down the middle for Lee Randall just to finish the round, but really entertaining first round. Both guys didn't wait to get into the action.
Premier. Round 2. Lee Randall versus Oscar Lee. About to get underway. Cage door closes. Having a bit of trouble there at the cage door.
We'll get there eventually. Like I said, teething problems is the first bout of the night. We got to get everyone warmed up to their tasks, myself included, but we're up and running. Oscar Lee doing well to just peel his head a little off the centre line as he steps in to throw that jab each time, because he knows that Lee Randall's got lovely straight shots. Randall now presses him against the fence and starts digging in with that dirty boxing, but we've seen Oscar Lee do a good job of reversing him on the fence a few times in round 1, and manages to just break away and get that space. And now starts returning fire. Big right hand over the top of that teep.
And a jab and an uppercut.
Randall, for a guy with a bit of boxing experience over the years, has pressed the action on the fence a good bit so far.
Initiated all the grappling, pretty much all grappling exchanges, trying to get his hands together here. But Oscar's doing a very good job to lift him with his overhook on his right side there.
One up the middle there, and the ref just calls time. We're okay, we're good to go. Oscar Lee showing no ill effects and stepping in again. See the way he just peels his head a little off the centre line as he throws his jab. Very smart.
Oh.
Eats a big uppercut by Lee Randall, and Randall knows that he landed flush with that one. He got a little too close to Oscar Lee and almost found it. Well, does find himself taken down.
That's a good move by Oscar.
It's a really good step for recovery there. He felt that uppercut and changed levels immediately.
Stands up here.
Tried to hip in and go to the mount, but Lee Randall stifled him temporarily here.
Great fight we have here.
Yeah, Randall's still recovering from that shot. He seemed a bit shocked that he got taken down, because I think he smelled the blood in the water, and he was going for that finish and then found himself on his back, and I think it took him a moment to get his bearings, but he's back in the top position now. Is he fighting off a triangle attempt? He's got his 2 arms inside, he's okay. Passed into side control.
Now Oscar needs to shoulder walk his way up the cage, try and force his way out, bottom position. Lee Randall doing a very good job, being heavy on top.
Yeah, and Lee is pivoting well just to get his feet to the cage, to try and get a bridge off now, expect a big burst. Now he turns back in to recover guard instead. Is he going to try and push that hand down for a triangle attempt? But Lee Randall trying to pass again without any success.
And Oscar recovers guard here.
Nice frame down there by Lee Randall and follows it up with a couple of right hands. You've got such long limbs, you're going to need to posture up a little bit to land some damaging blows in that position. Short shots aren't as easy to find the space for. A good second round here by Lee Randall as he dives on a straight footlog. He won't have the time to get much of a crank on it, but we got one more round to go.
Round 3.
Yeah,
Oscar opening bout.
Rides out to the centre of the cage. He's sporting a lovely shiner, but not deterred. Both guys well warmed up now. We're going to see a big third round. Randall enters beautifully. Just the timing on that, just as he saw Oscar Lee step in. He dipped his level and put Oscar Lee on the flat of his back, and expect him now to posture up a little and try and land some shots.
Very impressed with Lee Randall's grappling initiations. As you said, he's a former amateur boxer, but he's initiated a lot of grappling here. That's what you need in MMA.
Absolutely,
especially amateur MMA. It's
the threat of two levels. You know, like Oscar Lee was coming in there, stepping off, as I said, getting the head off the centre line because he's conscious of those straight shots. And then next thing you know, he throws one jab with his head off the centre line, but Lee Randall has ducked underneath and hoisted him onto the mat. So multiple threats. And Oscar Lee spins, armbar attempt. But I think Lee Randall's going to get that elbow line free. He does, yeah. And he's thinking about that footlock again, isn't he? It's always a risk when you've got time left on the clock here, because you're giving up that top position, and if you don't finish the submission, you're in a position to be hit. So,
we've seen everything in this first fight so far. We've seen lots of stand-up, lots of grappling, lots of submission attempts. So
Oscar Lee keeps pushing on that right wrist of Lee Randall. He's toying with the idea of looking for that triangle, but Randall's doing a good job of just clamping down on the outside of the leg so that he's not allowing him to get that wrist stuffed in, but just takes one lapse in concentration for that to lash on, and Oscar Lee just, he's chasing in a little bit of desperation. He needs to probably get himself back to his feet.
Yeah.
Lee Randall kind of cinching up that sort of, it's like an arm triangle grip or rear naked choke grip, but it's just literally to hold his opponent in position. It's not, he's not going to get that submission from inside the guard.
No.
Referee looking for a bit more urgency now, a bit more activity. Both fighters showing signs of fatigue now.
Two boys are tired.
They really went at it over those first 2 rounds, and as we said, a debut fight, so. Look again, he's trying to stuff one arm in for a triangle attempt.
Very active guard by Oscar.
But Randall just seems very aware of it, and he's not giving him the space to get that leg over the shoulder. So if anyone was watching Cage Warriors last night, we've seen Nathan Fletcher with a great example of how quick you have to be to snap on a triangle in those positions. You only get a microsecond to lock it up, and Lee just didn't get the leg over the shoulder in time. He tried to stay on the offensive in this guard position, hasn't been enough though. And we could possibly be seeing Lee Randall eking out a decision here in what's been a very entertaining opening bout.
Opening fight.
So ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to your judges' scorecards for a decision. Your judges scored the bout 29-28, 29-28, and 30.